Wretched City Radio.
Hello and welcome to Wretched City Radio. My name is James Harlot and the year is 1968. I'm smoking a fat joint soaked in the blood of my enemies, and the dark, threatening coffee sliced with pale milk is crawling its way through my stomach. You might be wondering how I can get away with saying all of this shit on air. Well, the truth is, nobody fucking cares. And now, ladies and gentlemen, some music to start us off for the day. Today, in support of those fallen in Chicago, the people of Wretched City took to the streets in solidarity, smoking heavy, wet cigarettes and crying dry, solid tears. The bells were ringing out in nostalgia at the Temple of the Hookahs, where some of our citizens worshipped the souls of sex workers which they had fallen in love with so profoundly that their spirits ascended to godhood. The purple priest, Senior Jesus Beelzebub, once a retrograde Jewish pastor named Harry, now an ironic shaman of the modern age with a funky satirical name, made no comment but instead looked into the distance, humming a song only he could hear, quietly tolling the bells for the victims of America. Jesus Beelzebub looked into the sepia sunrise. He looked into the brown, endless sky. He contemplated the lost skyscrapers of the advertising district and how they cohort in profound solitude, looking almost sentient and intelligent even as soulless glass buildings. The purple priest had a tear in his left eye, and it was finding its way slowly to his wise cheek. The dark velvet robes engulfed his pale calves and his feet throbbed as he kept ringing the bell. The Temple of the Hookahs had a profound phallic entrance, which extended into an oval building, split in the middle by a soft wooden fabric. The bell was the highest. One had to climb many circular ladders and jump from edge to edge, navigating the complicated interior with intersecting staircases, in order to reach the beautiful, sleek, shining black metal bell perched on the last floor. It looked like a proud, sparkling obsidian crystal, shining as bright as our hearts. And this is what Jesus spoke, perched on top of his temple, speaking from his black bell.
I am the preacher of the temple of the harlot, and my message is singular. Why deny ourselves the pleasure? Why deny ourselves the lust? Why deny ourselves the glory of the morning after the rust? Why, I ask, should we not behold the rainbow? Why, I ask, should we not dance? Why, I ask, should we ever worship something else but ourselves? I am the preacher of the temple of the harlot. I am the preacher of the temple of the harlot. I am. And I ask, Why should you not have that nice cigar? Why should you not dance upon the stars? Why should you not smoke that joint before bed? Why shouldn't you go to work when you're baked? I am the preacher of the house of harlot. You don't get things back for your good deeds. They don't return proportionally. You know what comes back? A good feeling in your dreams. You know what comes back? A night well spent when you sleep. You know what comes back? The thought of something that you like doing, something that made you happier, something that made you balanced. It wasn't helping anybody cross the street. It was being true to yourself, to the things that you crave, to the smiles that you see, to the women that you please. Man's religion lies in desire. Everything else is a sham. I am the preacher of the temple of the harlot. I am the preacher of the temple of the harlot.
Well then, that certainly moved me. Although, it might be hard sometimes to understand what Jesus wants to say exactly, or why he decides on these particular words at a congregation meeting regarding the protests in Chicago. The link between the two might be hard to find at first, but if you listen hard enough, you will hear it between his words, between his consonants, between his... Hang on. The light is blinking. Somebody's trying to say something here in our studio. Just give me a moment. Listeners, I'm being told that this wasn't an official comment made by preacher Jesus. It was in fact, he was sort of just thinking out loud. He was cleaning the bell, his daily routine, his daily morning routine, polishing that wonderful black bell. And a few congregation members were gathered at the bottom of the intersecting staircases next to the velvet curtains, and a less sensitive member of his congregation decided to record him and send it over. I guess that's what happens when you have such loyal followers, worshippers, brethren, brothers, sisters, I don't know. I don't know the exact terminology preferred by the House of Harlot, by the Temple of the Hookahs, but preacher, just know that I didn't mean to intrude on your privacy. And I also wanted to say that I find it curious how alike we sound sometimes. Maybe we're related. Have you ever checked? No, of course you wouldn't. I certainly haven't. I can't remember if we are related, but maybe call sometimes. You know, I would love to have coffee with you and hear about your faith and religion. Now, listeners, talking about coffee has made me rather peckish, so I'm gonna go outside and pop out for a cigarette and coffee, and I'm gonna pour a little bit of LSD inside the coffee, as my Wednesday ritual implies. And you know, I'm not really sure if anybody is listening. I was never sure, but if you are, and you are a little bit disoriented by our lack of structure, just know that you can always impose your own structure on our broadcast in your mind. I'll come back after the caffeine hits. Remember to stay hydrated. Remember to stay, just remember to smile in the face of adversity.
This is Charlie with the advertising break. Have you ever thought what's gonna happen with your corpse when you die? Or are you some sort of selfish prick who's just gonna leave that burden on his family? Think about it, think ahead. Think ahead now. This is the country of thinking ahead, of planning ahead. This is America. Don't just leave it on your folks. Funeral home conglomerate Beyond the Rainbow has paid us a bunch of money to tell you to plan ahead, think ahead. For only $20 a month, we'll take care of it no matter when or where you die. We'll bury you, we'll organize the funeral, all the shebang, all the things you need. For a small fee, eternity. For a small fee, eternity. For a small fee, eternity. Only $20 a month, by the way, that's what the prince says. $20 a month and you can die at any time. We'll take care of it, buddy. Remember to think ahead. Beyond the rainbow, for a small fee, eternity. For a small fee, eternity. For a small fee, eternity. Who the hell paid for this shit? Ah, what do you mean we're still recording? Ah, goddamn.
Oh, my sweet wretched, my friends, my brothers, my sisters, my lovers. America makes me want to cry today. America is a hydra. America is a monster. America is fear. America is the love of my life. I came here from a faraway place and I cannot remember when or how or why. I cannot remember that distant shore, and for a long time that void in my mind was a blessing. But now it is only a question mark. A red question mark. Faded, ethereal, flying through empty space. Fuck it. Fuck the question mark. May the gods under our cold cement fuck that thought out of my fucking mind. Not everybody needs an answer. Not everything needs an answer. But I do have another burning question for all of you, my listeners, my friends, my brothers, my sisters, my countrymen. Can we slay the Hydra? Can we free the soul within? The hippies say we can. That beautiful man, oh, he's so beautiful. Malcolm X, he says we can free it too. Hunter is not so sure. We remember Hunter always. There is a statue of Hunter at the periphery of our town. Not because we didn't love him enough to put him in the center, but because he was never really here. Or rather, we're not sure if he really was, but we believe in this with conviction, and we can all remember him, sort of, like the memory of a distant dream. It tends to be like this with rock star, gonzo journalists. Hunter showed up in a shit-colored Cadillac that was gradually breaking down, bellowing in pain, screaming through its hemorrhaging exhaust pipes. He had a dead mountain lion on the back seat, soaked in cheap beer. It was killed with a hammer. We all enjoyed the brown stains on his car, they looked so authentic. He looked wretched like all of us, despite being from another place. Lucian Gray, our sly damn sheriff, brought him a refreshing cappuccino, and they spoke for a whilst some of us watched from afar, taking photos with second-hand film cameras, photos which later, when developed, showed a spectral hunter with translucid skin. Hunter S. Thompson appeared to me as a sailor of time. He understood time, but more importantly right now, he understands America. Yesterday he was staying at the corner of Michigan and Balbo when Mayor Daley of Chicago ordered his Gestapo police force to attack the thousands of unarmed demonstrators. His press pass had dried blood on it, and it looked like the press pass itself was bleeding this slimy black liquid. And the ecstatic blue fiends of the so-called police force clubbed him all the same. He struggled to reach his hotel screaming and waving his pass and threatening with lawsuits, swimming through the sea of bruised, fractured hippie egos which will never again believe in this system, not even a slight bit, and rightfully so. The corridors of his hotel were not safe either. Nothing was safe, not in a land where the dollar ruled as queen and hatred ruled as king. We tried to reach Hunter S. Thompson for further comments, but we found that all of our phone lines were overwhelmed with a draining, all-engulfing static whenever we would try. So instead, I went to sleep and I dreamt his comments, which I shared with you right now. Oh well. Stay safe, Hunter, and remember to never become the hunted. That was it for today, listeners, and remember to tune in next time whenever that is going to be, because I'm not sure. They don't pay me enough to remember the schedule. So, remember to stay aware and as sane as you can be, and yeah. This has been 606 FM, Wretched City Radio.
606 Wretched City Radio.